I have a question about all of us, everywhere seeming to be so busy. We don't have so much time for practice or study, most of us. So it's a question about study. One way to put it is, what is the minimal amount of study we have to do for Dzogchen practice to start well and stay on track? And another way to say that is, what are the essential, like, intellectual points that we really need to have clear in our minds for our meditation to go well?
And generally, starting is really important. And what's called in the Buddha teaching, this is known as three wisdoms. Wisdom that comes from starting, wisdom that comes from contemplation, wisdom that comes from the meditation. So therefore, starting is important. Starting, really starting of the Buddha teachings, those are really important because that's what we like to practice. So therefore, we should know these things that will. So first, study is important, and I will say starting also in the context of the like such as like as a Sutra and Vajayanas, like starting on the Sutra and starting on the in the Vajrayana teachings. And then Dzogchen is Vajrayana, so therefore these three kind of two things is really important. Sutra level, then again Hinayana and Sutra Mahayana Sutra a little bit starting, and those are like then such as those His Holy Dongyal Rinpoche's teaching, three vows is translated into English. Those really gives about all those teaching and including Vajrayana teaching. So I will say that. And then plus also starting such as a guide in the lives of the Bodhisattvas. Starting those are very wonderful. I mean, those are the essential practice, not just wonderful. They are so really so important. So starting level that, and then Vajrayana teaching. There's so many books now, but some those Longchenpa's books, all the Jingwei Longpa's teaching, those are quite translated. All the great master Jambu Kungro Rinpoche's teaching, which is known as the knowledge of treasure, which is very big, even though it's kind of like Jambu Kungro Rinpoche himself said it is very for the beginner practitioners or beginner students, those who like to study, they don't have time to go big things, but actually it's really big. So kind of some of those really will open the door. Or that Maharam, which is what called the knowledge. Get to the knowledge.
Gateway to knowledge.
Gateway to knowledge. Those are, I mean, those are just not, I'm not saying very good. They are, that's it. Those are really good. And then Vajrayana teaching, this Longchenpa's teaching, and I don't know if it's translated that, but also this, I mean, there's so many, so really as many as you can do that is good as many, but also that's according to your time, but read and then also I will say really, if you have time, also read some life story of those great masters. It's also very inspiring. Really, they show how great their teachers they are, and yet how they are humble and simple, and how dedicated, how their devotions, even their highest realization, yet they are like full of the humiliations, full of the devotions, and full of bodhicitta. Really, just that. It's so and simple and humble. Those are very kind of appealing, and for the practitioners, really that. So read a few times if you have time. Those great masters' life stories, which is really good. And then for the practice, for the meditations, then I think to starting things, I think always in the teaching said, always that about how the teaching comes. The little bit starting about the, for example, what's called in the Tibetan ground, path, and the result. A little bit kind of get knowledge on the ground, and the path, and the result. And then ground, study about the ground. What is ground? Means ground is again metaphor, but is ground is what? What usually in samsara, ground is best by everything. So therefore, in the realization, where is best? And the study of that best. And then study about the path. We need to come to the path, and then what they divide as view, meditation, and conduct. Again, everybody study of what means view, what means meditation or practices, what means or what is about the conduct. study a little bit that aspect, and as kind of like needed. And then result, I mean, you don't need to study because those are all cause, then result will come. Those are the cause, there's nothing really have to study too much result, but also result you can study what that will bring the result or the fruit. So if you're studying kind of a little bit those things, or those like teaching that explained already that, and you heard that many times, maybe reactivating in our knowledge as much as you can, then those are known as that is study, which is study is really good. But when also studying in the Nyingma teaching, as Khenpo Tsewang said many times, Nyingma school, we don't make a big separation between studying and practice, kind of cooperative. What you're studying, you practice it. What you are practicing, also you're learning. Kind of develop both, call it together, and that is really kind of keep that scope of the vision, and then practice. Okay, thank you. Then we stop it.